This
We
conference will now be recorded.
so whenever we are discussing the usage of has had, have had, and had, although they seem to be three different categories, but I want to make sure to all of you regarding one thing, that has had and have had are categorized as one. Has had and have had are categorized as one, and had is in the second category. In the coming moments of the session, we shall know in depth as to how to use has had, have had, and had properly. Meanwhile, I want to request Mr. Burton to switch off his camera. Mr. Burton, it would be highly, we will be highly obliged to you if you switch off your camera. So let's begin. Now, suppose I say one thing to you. Suppose I say to you that we had a wonderful session on last Sunday. Although on last Sunday we did not have a session, but prior to that Sunday we had a session. So suppose I say to you that we had a wonderful session last Sunday. What does it mean? This means that we had a session in the past perfect tense. This sentence, that we had a wonderful session on the last Sunday, this means that we had a session in the past perfect tense. Now, what is a past perfect tense? A past perfect tense means that there are two incidents in the past. There are two incidents in the past in which one incident happens prior to the another incident that is also in the past. I will explain this to you very clearly and very thoroughly in coming slides. Just stay tuned over here. So before studying the usage of has had, have had, and had, we have to learn as to what verbs are. Now I want to tell you that verbs are of two types. There are two types of verbs: helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Now, helping verbs and auxiliary verbs, they both mean the same thing. Helping verbs are always placed between the subject and the verb. For example, we do our work. We do our work. He is studying. They have been running. I was left alone. You did not make the rice. We had a wonderful evening. Now, all these verbs that I use during these sentences, that is do, orders, is, am, are, has, have, was, were, did, and had. All these are helping verbs. Now, I want to make sure about one thing, that these are not the main verbs. These are not the main verbs. These are the helping verbs. Without these verbs, any sentence will be incomplete. For example, I say to you that she teaching. She teaching. Now, this sentence has no meaning until and unless I place is between both of them. She is teaching. So, is was the helping verb over here. They eating their food. They eating their food. This is grammatically incorrect a sentence. Why? Because it lacks a helping verb. How should this sentence look like? They are eating their food. Now, are here is a helping verb. So, with this notion, I assume that you would have understood as to what helping or auxiliary. Now, suppose somebody said to you that what are auxiliary verbs? Do not get confused, because helping verbs and auxiliary verbs, they both mean the same. They both mean the same. So, helping verbs, I have listed out a certain helping verbs over here in front of your screens. You can take a glance. Do, does, is, am, are, has, have, was, were, did, and had. These are helping verbs. Now let us see as to what main verbs are. There are a number of main verbs, but just to make sure that you understand as verbs are, I have listed out here certain verbs. For example, go, come, run, eat, play, break, say, teach. These are main verbs. These are main verbs. But every sentence requires helping and main verbs, both types of verbs, to give itself a complete meaning. Now let us learn the usage of has and have. I told you as we began our session that has and have both are the same things. Has is used with singular nouns and have is used with plural nouns. They both are used in the present perfect tense. Now, what is a present perfect tense? A present perfect tense is a tense that has completed, that started happening in the past but completed in the present. For example, I have finished the race. I have finished the race. What does it mean? This means that I began racing in the past and I just finished my race in the present. So this is in the present perfect tense. I have finished my race. I have finished my race is the present perfect tense. Now, why is it present perfect? Because in a present perfect tense, something or an action starts in the past and finishes in the present. There are two endpoints. An action starts in the past. Just look seriously and focus fully over here. In the present perfect tense, an action starts in the past and finishes in the present. An action starts in the past and finishes in the present. For example, they have eaten their food. They have eaten their food. This means that somebody began eating their food in the past and they have just finished eating their food in the present. Let us take one more example. She has taught the students. She has taught the students. What does this mean? This means that a lady has started teaching the students in the past and just now in the present she stopped or she completed teaching the students. The action has finished in the present. So whenever we discuss the present perfect tense, there is one important thing that you must make sure of, that in the present perfect tense an action starts in the past and finishes in the present. But in the case of the past perfect tense, an action starts in the past and finishes also in the past. I am repeating once again. In the present perfect tense, an action starts in the past and finishes in the present. In the present perfect tense, an action starts in the past and finishes in the present. Whereas in the past perfect tense, an action starts in the past and finishes in the past. It is as simple as that. For example, I have eaten my lunch. I have eaten my lunch. What does it mean? This means that somebody started eating the lunch in the past and finished the lunch just now. Finished the lunch just now in the present. With this notion, I assume very honestly that you would have understood as to what present perfect tense and past perfect tense and the usage of has had, have had, and had lies solely in the in your understanding of the present perfect and the past perfect tense. Now, why are we discussing the usage of has had and had had? We are learning here the usage of has had, have had, and had had because many a time your interlocutor, I mean the person who is analyzing you in your OET speaking sessions is also paying heed to the small details of the usage of helping verbs and the main verbs that you are using while speaking in OET. And often we make use of these phrases that has had, have had, and had had. So if you are wrong mentioning these verbs, you tend to lose your marks. The person analyzing your OET writing and your interlocutor, both, they are paying every heed to the details of the usage of these phrases that you are using over there. So you have to be very, very appropriate while using these verbs. Now, there is a very wonderful secret about has and have, that has and have, they can act as both. How? Has and have can act as the main verb and the helping verb also. Let us look at a few examples over here. I have lunch at 1 p.m. Now, what does it mean? I have lunch at 1 p.m. This means that here have is used as the main verb. We could also have written here, I eat lunch at 1 p.m. I am writing on your screens. For a better understanding, we'll see here as to how we make use of these. Suppose somebody says to you that I have lunch at 1 p.m. Now here, this word have is the main verb. It is the main verb. And how is it main verb? It is main verb as in I eat lunch at 1 p.m. Now, in both these sentences, you can see that we have replaced eat with have. There is another version of the same sentence that we can write it like this. I take lunch at 1 p.m. Now, all these three sentences are the same. What we have done is that we have just used the main verb in three forms. I have lunch at 1 p.m. I eat lunch at 1 p.m. and I take lunch at 1 p.m. So here you can see that we have just transformed the verbs. This is a regular habit of somebody. This is a regular habit of somebody. This sentence is in the present simple tense. This is present simple tense. I eat lunch at 1 p.m. I have lunch at 1 p.m. and I take lunch at 1 p.m. All these three sentences are the same. They carry the same meaning with them. And what we have actually done is that we have just transformed the main verb here. So here in this sentence, I wanted to show you that how have can act as both the helping verb and the main verb. Let us look at a few more examples. I have a cat. I have a cat. Can somebody replace have over here with some other another verb? You can write your answers in the chat window. I have a cat. Can you transform the main verb here? I own a cat. Adogbo, Rachel, very nice. I own a cat. And why haven't we? I keep a cat. Okay. You can also, I got a cat. Ashwarya, I got a cat is not the proper answer. The correct answer is I own a cat. I have a cat or I own a cat. These are the only two possible versions of this sentence. Now we have another a sentence or an example over here. What is it? I have played cricket. I have played cricket. Now here have is the helping verb and played is the main verb. Now you see here, did you see how we have transformed the usage of have over here? we have used have as the main verb in the first and the second sentence, but in the third sentence, have is the helping verb. And what is the main verb? Played is the main verb. So this is the beauty of English. This is the magic of English. How one thing can be used at various places. Let us look at few more examples. I have lunch at 1 p.m. I eat lunch at 1 p.m. I take lunch at 1 p.m. I have a cat. I own a cat. I have taken lunch. I have eaten lunch. I have had lunch. Now here again, have is the helping verb. Taken, eaten, and had are the main verbs. I am just now explaining to you. Now let us try to understand here properly and clearly as to what I'm trying to lay my emphasis upon. I have taken lunch. Now this sentence means that somebody started taking lunch in the past and just finished the lunch in the present. So this is the present perfect tense. I have taken lunch. I have taken lunch. I have taken lunch. So this sentence means that somebody started taking lunch in the past. This means that somebody started his or her lunch in the past and has just finished the lunch in the present. So whenever some action is finished in the present, it is the present perfect tense. If an action starts in the past and just finishes in the present, it is the present perfect tense. Now, what are the versions in which we can write this sentence, the other versions? Let us see. The other versions are I have taken lunch, I have eaten lunch, and I have had lunch. Now, here we have used the main verb, that is eaten, in three forms: taken, eaten, and had. Taken, eaten, and had. So many a times we do not understand as to what this sentence I have had lunch is trying to say, but now you must have understood that had here is only another form of eaten. Had is another form of eaten over here. So this is how we have written. Now you must have understood that in the present perfect tense, we make use of has had and have had. If I replace I with he here, let us replace I with he. He has taken lunch. He has eaten lunch. And finally, we have he has had lunch. So did you see? We often get confused. We often get confused most of the times as to what is this has had and have had. This is what has had and have had actually is. Had here is just another transformation of eaten. So whenever we have a plural subject, what are plural subjects? Plural subjects are I, we, you, they. And what are singular subjects? Singular subjects are he, she, it. So whenever we have singular subjects, we associate has with them. Whenever we have plural subjects, we associate have with them. So these are two contrasts which we have just here. I have taken lunch, I have eaten lunch, I have had lunch, and another form is he has taken lunch, he has eaten lunch, and he has had lunch. So this is how we make use of has had and have. Okay, so I think Jabin has a question to ask. Jabin, I think you have a doubt over here. You can unmute yourself and you can clear the doubt verbally over here on this platform so that other students are also able to understand as to what you're actually trying to say. So Jabin, please unmute yourself and please tell us as to what your doubt is.
Hi, Manoj sir. I want to test, sir, sir, that I is a singular noun, but it uses have. We never use I has lunch, although it is a singular.
Very nice, Jabin. Thank you for imparting us with another piece of information over here. Jabin has very correctly said that I is singular. I look singular. I look singular. You know what? When I was very young, when I was at the age of 7 or 8, my father would teach me English. And there was one evening. It so happened that my father was teaching me this singular verbs, singular subjects, and plural subjects, or you can say singular nouns and plural nouns. And the same question, like Jabin has asked, I also asked my father. So my father was teaching me that Manuj, I, we, you, they are plural subjects, and he, she, it are singular subjects. So I said to my father that, Father, I do understand that he means one boy or a man. She means one girl or a woman. It means one baby or an animal or an object. It. So I told him that I clearly understand that he means singular, she means singular, and it also means singular. It means we use it for referring to an object, an animal, or a baby whose gender is unknown. For example, the baby was very lovely. It was smiling, looking at me. So here we do not know as to what the gender of the baby is. Suppose I say to you that the baby was very cute and it smiled looking at me. So here we do not know as to what the gender of the baby was, and here we have associated it with the baby. So again, I asked a question to my father that you have told me that we, you, and they. We, you, and they are also plural subjects. We means that a collection of people. You means that there may be many people or just a one person, although, and they also means a collection of people. Then how can you say that I, because I is one, that is me. So how can you say that I is a singular subject? So my father told me that, Manuj, this is an exception over here, as Jabin told us. I is an exception, and I means me, and there is no other person in this entire world who is more important than I or me. And we should always respect ourselves on the first priority. So I, as an exception, is being kept on the plural side. So this is just one trick that my father told me to learn as to why I, being an exception, is kept on the plural side of the subjects. So I, we, you, they are plural subjects, and he, she, it are singular subjects. So when we were referring to I, we used have, and when we referred he, we used has. So present perfect tense make use of has, have, or main verb. Now this main verb can also be had over here. For example, I have finished all my work. I have had coffee just now. There is an example I'm writing in front of you. Just look at it. I have had coffee just now. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? This means that I started taking sips of my coffee in the past and I just finished taking my coffee. So I have had coffee just now means that I have taken coffee just now. I have taken coffee just now. We do not use drink with coffee or tea. We use drink only with two things, that is either water or alcohol. Drink is used only either with water or alcohol. For all other liquors, all other liquid substances that our body intakes, take is used. I take tea, I take coffee, I took cold drink, I took milk. But when we refer to water or alcohol, we use drink with it. So this was another sentence over here, another example that we took. On the last session, I gave you a trick to learn the present perfect and the past perfect. I told you that present perfect means past raised to the power 1 or past that just finished now. A past that just finished now, it is present perfect. But a past that finished in the past and another incident started and also finished in the past, that is past into past, that is the past perfect tense. This is one trick that I gave you on the last turn, that past that finished just now is the present perfect, but past followed by a past is past perfect tense. We will understand this with few more examples over here. Let us see as to what they are. I had just stepped outside when it started to rain. Now this sentence is in the past perfect tense. And why is it in the past perfect? Because there are two incidents in this sentence. There are two incidents in this sentence. Somebody just stepped outside and it started raining. And both these incidents took place in the past. So this is the past perfect tense. How? Somebody just stepped outside in the past and it rained in the past. Now these are two incidents where there is past into past. She had just finished her exam when the timer went off. Both these incidents, that is, she finished her exam and the timer went off, these both incidents took place in the past. So this is again past into past. There are two pasts here. This is the past perfect tense. I couldn't go out for dinner because I had left my wallet at home. This is also the past perfect tense. Please take a glance on your screens one more time until we switch over to the another slide. Until then, if you have a problem, you can ask freely over this platform. We are here to discuss our confusions and ambiguities over here. Without you being asking your confusions here, these sessions would be futile. If only I go on speaking and you remaining mute, the sessions would be absurd and futile. So it is your duty also that if you are attending the sessions, this is your liability that you ask questions in order to enrich my knowledge also. Okay, let's proceed. This is another sentence that we often make use of while telling our narratives or our day-to-day lives to somebody. Suppose while telling stories, or suppose I have to tell somebody as to what happened yesterday in my life. So this is the type of sentence that we majorly make use of. He had mentioned feeling sick, but they were shocked when he suddenly fainted. This is also the past perfect tense. Both the incidents have taken place in the past. One incident happened, another after another, that is in the past. So now Karis has asked us a question that when do we have to use the present perfect and past perfect in OET writing? A very nice question that Karis has asked. Thank you, Karis. for throwing light over this aspect of OET writing, I want to tell you that when a patient comes to you, suppose a patient comes to you and you are transferring or discharging or referring your patient to another medical practitioner, you often write letters. There are three types of letters that you write in OET writing. They may either be the transfer letter, a discharge letter, or a referral letter. So suppose a patient had come to you and you are writing in your letter as to what happened to your patient. So suppose the patient had some issues in the past and then another issue scrapped. This is the past perfect tense. For example, Mr. Joseph experienced severe pain after he had had a laparoscopy. I am writing this sentence as an example on your screens. You can see over here. Now, this sentence that I have written over on your screens, this is the past perfect tense. Now, you are trying to tell the person to whom you are writing your OET letter that your patient suffered allergies in the past. And when did your patient suffered allergies? Your patient suffered allergies when she had had a laparoscopy done. When she had had a laparoscopy done. So Miss Smith suffered allergies after she had had a laparoscopy done. This is the past perfect tense. Now suppose I say to you that Mr. Jones have had a bypass surgery done means that Mr. Jones had a bypass surgery just now very recently. Just now very recently. This thing is in the past but very recent. This happened at your practice. This happened at your practice. So these are two versions of the usage of the present perfect and the past perfect that you make use while speaking or writing your OET letters. There are few more examples that we can have, of course, here. Of course, Benita, very nicely you have told us over here that you avoid using the words like suffered or suffering done here because it comes to a very, you can say, pathetic version towards your patient. So you can use experienced over here. What you can do is that you can make use of experience over here. What we are trying to do here is that you can use experiencing over here. Here, I'm only trying to throw light over the usage of the past perfect and the present perfect. Of course, you can avoid words like this, like suffering or words that tend to be pathetic towards your patients. Of course, you have to avoid those words that show that you are getting, you have to be empathetic towards your patient, but you do not have to show that your patient is very in a very poor condition. You have to remain positive while writing a letter towards your patient. You have to be very optimistic besides getting pessimistic. So of course this is a very nicely said shared view from your side on this type of writing in during OET. What we are trying to discuss over here is the usage of the present perfect and the past perfect as to how you will be using these two while OET speaking and OET writing. Now, Adogbo has said to us that Mr. Jones has had a bypass surgery done. Of course, very nice, Adogbo. This is what I was waiting here from all of you, that none of you mentioned apart from Adogbo that I wrote here have had a bypass surgery done, but none of you paid focus towards this because Mr. Jones is, there are not so many Jones. There is only one Jones. So we will write has over here. Has had a bypass surgery done. Has had a bypass surgery done. Because Mr. Jones is one person, he is a singular subject, and with singular subjects, what we do is that we make use of has. Now let's come to the past perfect. Whenever we come to past perfect, remember, in present perfect, we use have, has, or had. Have, has, and had. In past perfect, we will use had. Because in past perfect, something started in the past and finished in the past. For example, my husband had finished all the housework by the time I got home from work. Now, this is the past perfect tense. Why? Because there are two incidents. A lady got back from work to her home in the past, and when she returned, the entire housework was done also in the past. Now, here we have past multiplied by past. There are two past activities over here. Let us see at another examples. When I called Laura last night, her husband told me she had gone out. I had lived in 5 different cities before I turned 10 years old. Now I would be explaining to you the usage of has had and have had while writing OET letters by writing or citing a few examples over here in front of you. Let us see. The patient another sentence we are taking over here. Now we have two sentences over here. The patient has requested an echo to be conducted over her. Now what does this sentence mean? This sentence means that the patient requested in the past and the request is still on. The request is still on. The patient has requested an echo to be conducted over her. The patient has requested us that, doctor, please get an echo done over me. Whenever a patient comes to us, they also suggest us a number of things. For example, whenever I visit my doctor, I ask her to carry on certain tests. For example, maintaining my eye pressure, my retina tests, my blood sugars. I suggest my doctor that, doctor, I request you to carry on a blood sugar test over me. Now it is up to the doctor whether he or she does the test or not, but the patient can make requests. So in the first sentence, the patient has requested an echo to be conducted over here. What is it? This is the present perfect tense. This is the present perfect tense. In the next sentence, the patient had had an echo before she suffered the stroke. This is the past perfect tense. And why is it the past perfect tense? Because both the things, that is echo done over her and suffering of the stroke, both these things took place in the past. So whenever you are writing your OET letters, you have to be very specific regarding the timings of the history of your patient. That is the chronology. The chronology. A doctor must very well understand as to what happened to your patient in what order of chronology. Now, there is another sentence that somebody has wrote to us. Let us see. This is a sentence which somebody known as the name by the user, he has given us. He has had appendicitis for which he underwent appendicectomy in 2005. Okay, fine. You must be laughing at my pronunciation of this very long word like appendicectomy. Hope I'm pronouncing it properly. Although I'm not from a medical background, so there could be a certain mistake. So he has had appendicitis for which he underwent appendicectomy in 2005. He has had. Yeah, fine. You can write the sentence likewise also, but it would much better if you write it. He had had appendicitis for which he underwent appendicectomy in 2005. He had had. Yes, Noreen, it should be he had had. So you people have understood it very well. Your answers are telling me this, that you have gotten a very perfect understanding of the usage of have had, has had, and had had. Now, as I've told you, you can read on your screens. Whatever I told you is written over here. In the present perfect, has, have with had is used. In the past perfect, had is used with had. I'm not feeling well. I have had a headache all day. This means that the person just stopped having the headache in the present. I'm not feeling well. I have headache all day. I have had a headache all day. She has had 3 children in the past 5 years. She has had 3 children in the past 5 years. All these are the present perfect tenses. All these are the present perfect tenses. We have had some problems with our computer systems recently. This means that they had problems in the past and the problems ceased in the present. Problems just finished in the present. There are no problems anymore just now. He has had two surgeries on his back. He has had two surgeries on his back. Usage of had. Last weekend, I just wanted to relax because I had had a busy week. This is past perfect tense. There are two past activities here. Last weekend, he wanted, and he had had a busy week. He wanted is one past, and he had had a busy week is another past. The director told me he had had a meeting with the president. We had had some trouble with our washing machine, so we called a repairman. She woke up screaming because she had had a bad dream. All these things are in the past, happened in the past, finished in the past, began in the past. In spoken English, whenever it comes to your speaking sections of the OET, we make use of the short forms of these. For example, I'm not feeling well. I've had a headache all day. Now here the pronunciation matters the most. Please listen to the pronunciation that I am spelling out of my throat. Please be very careful listening to me. I've, she's, she's had 3 children in the past 5 years. We've, we've had some problems with our computer systems recently. He's got two surgeries on his back. Last weekend, I just wanted to relax because I'd had a busy week. I'd had a busy week. We've recently had some problems with our computer systems. He's just had two surgeries on his back. The director said he had already had a meeting with the president. By the time I was 30, I'd only had one serious boyfriend. Now, there is the usage of another word between the helping verb and the main verb. What is the main verb here? The main verb is had. The helping verb is also had or has or have. With this notion, I assume that you would have had a wonderful knowledge of the usage of has had and have had. I am giving you two more examples. For example, I say we had had a wonderful session last Sunday. This means the session started last Sunday and finished last Sunday. Now today's Sunday. What I would say is that we have had a wonderful session today. We have had a wonderful session today because we began our session in the past and we are just now finishing our session. So we are saying that we have had a wonderful session. This means that our session has just finished. Okay, the Benita has requested to project the slide before the last one. Okay, Benita, is this the slide you want? You can take a look at these examples over here. If you have any doubts, you can let us know in the chat window. If still somebody has a doubt, you can unmute yourself and verbally ask, or you can leave a message in the chat window. So with this notion, let us wind up this session. We will have a session on connectors very soon. Please be focused and be informed about the sessions that we are going to take in near future. They are going to be very helpful in your OET examinations. Thank you very much, Dr. Bhavna, Dr. Prashant, and Teach You Academy for inviting. With this notion, I take a leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Manoj. A very helpful session, like always. Guys, what you can do now that you've seen this session, which was on has had, have had, if you go back to the session, it's been which we did yesterday, which was on tenses that you use on OET writing. You should be able to see how we can apply has had, have had into our OET letters. So it's quite important that you make that connection. So go to our YouTube channel and see that lecture and see where we actually use has had in OET writing. So that might be very, very useful. Just to let you guys know about the discount group. It's going to be submitted this week and we are accepting bookings from 22nd of August. So if you want to save 30% on your OET exam, you can just text Dr. Prashant on the number in your chat window. It's 7401554663. And if you want to join our writing and speaking check, you can visit our website, which is www.teachyouracademy.com. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. All of these sessions are going to be uploaded on YouTube. So in case you've missed out on anything, you can see the session on YouTube and revise. I hope everyone does very well and everyone is keeping safe. We'll see you next time. Good luck.